Hello. So I'm just gonna go. This is gonna be short. I just want to show how I'm making the repo repository for this guy. So this is Society V1. Here's the background. I didn't quite I didn't get it right. The size, there was some extra circuitry that I needed, so that's not gonna fit in. So I got to redesign it, and so that's what I'm gonna have to do. Ah, damn people. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Stop. Okay. Um. Also, I designed a board. I designed an ESP32 that I was going to use. Let's see if I can get this to. There we go. So that's my ESP32 based microcontroller. I was pretty proud of that. It's the first microcontroller that I had designed and then got it manufactured. But I'm testing out this STM base. It's a little bit more complicated to work with, but this is an STM32 and an H734 variant. So, and I had to get this screen, this touch screen, I had to solder all 40 connections because the pinouts are different. So I had to remap it pretty much, and gonna work on that later today. But I'm gonna go into. I love the hardware stuff. That's what I really want to get into. But I have a lot of research to do, and I'll explain sort of why. So I'll pull up the influence matrix. Maybe I'll show you like an example of what this is going to look like. So here's a render. I got ChatGPT to do this. This is close to what it's going to look like. You see all these sliders. You have like addiction. You got crime. You know, you got all these different categories. There's 42 right now. You also have these designators on the bottom, these light bars, stress, and economy. In my white paper, I go through the math. This is entirely a mathematical model of society, but it's based off of research. So here we go. Here's the ones that I've got so far. These are the ones that I still have to do. Actually, I've got some conditioning problems there. I'll get to that later. So, here we go. So you could see here the top are the influencers, and these are the influenced on the left. So if we just come here, I don't know, we can just pick one. Discrimination to, say, freedom of speech, right? So it looks like the more discrimination you have, the more freedom of speech you have. That makes sense because you get to be able to say whatever you want, right? So if you turn up discrimination, it's a 0.3, a factor of 0.3 positive. It's plus. And don't look at the green and red because sometimes green and red here means pretty much good or bad. Because say for homelessness, where is it? Homelessness, a positive influence is bad, right? This is up 0.36. So the cost of living, if cost of living goes up, say 10, homelessness is also going to go up by 3.6. That makes sense. So that's the ratio. And I'm using transformers, so matrix transformers. So these are going to be matrices. And right here is a pairwise tensor. So it's like a rank 2, I guess you could call it. Just a regular matrix multiplication, get the dot product of from the influencer to the influenced. But there's going to be higher order rankings, rank 3, rank 4. So those are going to be more conditional. Like, say, gun rights. When there's more gun rights, does that affect crime? Well, if mental health is also high, it'll affect crime at a much higher rate. If law enforcement is down and you have everyone with guns, maybe crime will have a higher rate. But thing is I can't just make these up, right? Like, I can use some logic and infer some things, but I want this to be research based. So anything here that is a non-zero, some of these zeros do have research, But anything, the strict rules, if there's going to be a non-zero value here, I need at least one research paper to defend that, to justify that value. Now, most research doesn't say, oh, this affects this by this much, right? But I'm using AI to help me out. Now, I have to go through and read the papers individually, but you can see this is a very research dependent project. Now, I'll come here to the research repository, and as you see, I'll go to here, research, and here is the repository. So eventually I'm going to put this, when I finish it, I'm going to put it up on GitHub. But like, I don't know, let's go to discrimination. We'll do that one. Discrimination to freedom of speech, since that's such a high value. Point 3, discrimination to freedom of speech right here. Okay, so there's no papers in here, so I must have links. Whoa. I don't. Why not? Wait. Oops. I have nothing here. That's not good. I'm gonna have to come back to that one. Wait a second. Okay. Hold on. Freedom of speech. Oh, I guess I'm fine. I think I made a mistake here. I think I forgot to put the papers in here. All right, I'll get to this. So here's a consensus result. Every one of these I ask consensus. Pretty much this, does X affect Y? And if so, what is the magnitude? And then I go through and I read the paper. So we'll skip this one. I guess I didn't know I had that, but okay. We'll go to, I don't know, where we go to? Agriculture and pollution. We'll go to agriculture and pollution. That's a very high. So we'll go here, agriculture and pollution right here. Okay, so I don't have a note in there. Some of them I don't have notes, especially for the earlier ones, but I do have papers here. So, and I have this paper. And I have this one. And I have to go through. Some of them I skim. I mean, a lot of them I skim. But I have to find a justification in these. So there's a lot. I go through the abstract, and sometimes I get lucky. And it will tell me, you know, what the research is, and I can go check their methodology. I need to make sure that the methodology is at least like understandable. Some of them, if there's not a good methodology and they're just making these claims, you know, I can't put it in here. I don't put it in there. So here we'll go to one more just because. Where am I at now? Family values. So we'll go to I don't know. What's a good one here? Equality and healthcare quality. We'll go to equality to healthcare quality. Healthcare quality. Okay. So here, okay, there we got some links. And do we have a note? Yep, and then I just put a note here. Some of them I'll have to find one. Some of them I have more in-depth notes, like I have shaping functions. Let's see if I can find one of those. Where are we at? We're at here. Innovation. Okay, here's one. So family values to innovation is a plus 0.16. Family values support innovation primarily through continuity, intergenerational knowledge transfer, and long-term orientation. Positive but bounded, favoring incremental over disruptive innovation. Then I have a shaping, likely sigmoid or plateau linear. So there's different shaping, the way that these will influence. I multiply pretty much the dot product of both of these to a shaping function. You just simple multiply that. So you could do a ReLU function, sigmoid, linear. Here's a way that I can shape them here. So I could change this. I go to a ton, sigmoid power. I can make other ones up. I tried to avoid getting, I set this up as a template because I want to finish the influence. Now, Consensus AI, they sent me this. They sent me this bag that I can hold my books in. Since I love carrying my books in a book bag, now I get to carry it in this. They sent me this for free, just out of the blue. They're like, hey, we see you using our stuff. And they gave me these cool stickers. I love stickers. I absolutely love them. And oh my God, you guys got to check out Consensus. I'll show you sort of how this goes. So right now I am at family values and market freedom, right? So what I'll do is I'll come here to family values. Each one of these, I create a new chat in here. All right. And I will just simply copy my template, throw that in here. Family values, and I have a sort of a naming convention, the first 3 letters, and then if there's any other words, the first letter of that word. And then in society, does family values alone generally have a direct effect on, and I'll say market freedom. Now, some of these I have to be more specific. Oh, let me throw this up. Okay, so here it is. I'm on the Consensus AI website, and I copied the template down here. I have this so I know what the file to name it as. Influence Consensus Family Values to Market Freedom. And then the first 3 letters of the first word, the first letter of the second word. That way there's no duplicates. So in society, does family values alone generally have a direct effect on family or market freedom? Sometimes I have to be more specific. Like if I do law enforcement, I'll put in parentheses, including budgeting, morale, integrity, effectiveness, etc., etc., etc. So here we go. I do this. I'll hit enter. It'll do its consensus thing, which is amazing. It goes and digs up research. Now, sometimes I got to go to other sites. Like Consensus can't see everything, but it's usually 8 out of 10 times I don't have to go anywhere else because I need at least 3 to 4 supporting research papers. So here, give me a little review here, just a summary. Positive family values generate influence market freedom primarily through indirect mechanisms. So that's going to be really important for me. That's going to tell me that I probably don't want to use this in my pairwise influence matrix, which is my primary influence matrix. Now, I do have some of the software side, so you can maybe see, like, what the hell are you even talking about here? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Did I put it in math? Let's see. Is this one? Okay, so this is a lot more complicated. And really, I kind of suck at coding. I love hardware. So we'll see. Like, we have these. Right now, I'm making just five channels for the prototype, and see these screens next to them. There's a button right here, and you could push the button and change the designator. Let's see if I can show you this. Here is, sorry, my power cable doesn't go that far, but hopefully. Okay. So it's gonna boot up. Oh, hold on. All right. Anyways, it's not working. This is a prototype that works. You're gonna have to look at the other videos that I've posted. I have to look into that, but okay. So anyways, you can nudge it, say racism to, let's go to freedom of speech, right? Because if I want to turn racism down, racism to freedom of speech. I have a better example too that I'll go to after. This is a lot more complicated. We'll just do linear just for now. And we'll say that it's a negative 0.3 just to make it more emphasized. We'll make it 0.4, whatever. Okay, so apply nudge, nothing's happened, right? We're at a stable state. Oh, sorry. We're at a stable state. So I've assigned a racism to freedom of speech is a 0.04. So if I turn down racism, which racism is blue and freedom of speech is orange, I'm going to turn this down. I'm going to bring it down, and now I'm going to apply a nudge. Now, the clock speed is going to automatically go in the actual machine. So I do that. I put this down, and I brought down racism, so now we have more freedom of speech. But if I want to turn, hold on. Let me think here. What's going on? Hold on. Let me reset the baseline real quick. Okay. So more racism means more freedom of speech. My bad. Okay. So if you want to have more racism, you're going to need more freedom of speech. So if I want to turn down the racism, I want less racism, you're also going to have to take in less freedom of speech. You're going to have to prevent people from talking. That's a very simple example here. I hope that sort of gives you the idea. There's 42 variables. It's an entire mesh network of interactions. Let me actually go to my favorite. Oh, shoot. Sorry, my son has got on here. Society. Okay, so we'll run this. Okay, so here we can see this is like just the healthcare one. So we know we have healthcare access, healthcare quality, and healthcare affordability, and then we have the disease and sickness level, right? Now, if I want to increase the quality of healthcare, right, I'm going to bring that up here. Look what happens to the quality. I kind of lose some quality there, right? I mean, I'm sorry. I'm going to increase the quality. It's better quality. It's less affordable, so it gets more expensive. If I keep the access the same, healthcare access is the same, anyone can get in, but I just made us so much better than everyone else. Now, due to other market factors, this might change the interaction of that. But in generally, you could look this up. It's the healthcare triangle. These are inferred. This model is inferred. It is not based off any of the research. So I'm waiting to finish my matrix first before I even start coding anything else. But look, you can turn this up. You'll see it just starts killing affordability. Now, with this, you can't... Quality has more... It has more priority than affordability, because I do have some that have priority. So I have to fix... I don't have to fix it because I'm not going to fix this one. I'm going to have the actual model next time. But you can see here, you kind of interact with these. Now I can turn... I can make less people sick, and it should have a less effect on things. And if I have more people sick, look at that. I can't even put the quality up without it dropping sickness. If I want people to be sick, quality goes down. But if I want more quality, look at that. So this is a rough model. This is just, like a demo, a proof of what I'm trying to do. I haven't done it yet because I'm still doing it. So I still got to do these. I try to knock these out. Hopefully I can read like about 1 to 2, sometimes 3 papers an hour. And then I'll do that. I'll go down here. This is like about 3 months of work. Every day I just come in. I try to do a couple hours. So I'm able to do a minimum of 3. But some days I've been able to do like a whole row. And especially like these are very forgiving. Diversity, what that affects, and it's only a couple things. And things like diversity, equality, taxes, those are actually composite variables. They're aggregates of other types of variables. You don't see them, but they're going like equality is like LGBTQ equality, gender equality. It also is the Gini index, like wealth distribution. So they're all kind of together. That way you don't have to like, it's not a culture war. Taxes like inheritance tax, sales tax, all of them will, if you move taxes, all of them move the same amount. However, when it's the affected, then each one of those are affected differently, and then you get an average, median average movement value, or an average state vector value for all taxes, and that's what the taxes slider will show. Um, so, all right, all right. So this is this. Let me see. Image. Here we go. So, yep, this is what it's going to look like. Here's what I got so far, but I kind of stopped because I need the math and I need the model to work out. So, I would love some help if anyone sees this and they're like, "Hey, that seems cool. I want to go through, freaking books of research and justify, these values for you. I'll help you out, Evan. Please, please." I have a white paper. If you want to see it, maybe I'll put a link in the description. You can read more about it. And yeah, that's it. Once I finish this, I'll do a quick little code reboot and get another working model, but this time based off of this research data. And then I'm gonna go to just like a bunch of universities and be like, "Can I get help? Is there like a grant or something like I could pay people to help me, or can you guys help? I need help. It's a big project that I got myself involved in. I gotta make it. I thought it was cool." Now there is another project very similar. Now they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They have like 12, 13. They have a few. They got like CO2 emissions, unemployment rate. I have that one. Total energy use per GDP, gender equality, education. So they got a couple, but I kind of wanted to take. Now theirs is an amazing art art piece. It's very large. They engineered these sliders. I'm using more mixing board sliders that have motors in them. They constructed their entire thing, which is amazing engineering product. You can check it out. It's ars.electronica.art, and it's called Sliders of Society. Big influence, big guidance for my project. This is my GitHub. But yeah, that's the research repo. And again, you need to check this site out. You need to check Consensus out. Let me actually show you. I'm only doing the quick refresh because I just want the papers. Give me the papers. I could come here and I can go here and I could read the paper. Let's see. Some of them go to good sites. Some of them don't. Some of them I don't have access to without spending money. And no, I need the free ones. So let's see here. We'll go to one of these up here that I know. Let's see. The family value ones is kind of hard. Okay, here we go. It's a PDF. Those are my favorite ones because then I get to read the entire thing. Yep. So here we go. Innovation and family firms. So I'll go through here. And yeah, there's a lot to read. It's a lot. I'm trying to read my book. I'm reading a Zimbardo book, a Philip Zimbardo book, amazing book. I love reading. And if you love reading, if you love research, go to Consensus. It's like ChatGPT, but specifically for research. And it's not without its bias, but you read into it. All right. So one example is here. Look at, if you do a full, there's different. I'm on quick. See if you could see down here. I'm on quick research. But if I go to like a deep, right, and I copy the same thing, family values to addiction. And we'll look that up real quick. And it gets a lot for you. I don't really use this one that much for this project. I just want, give me the links to the papers and I'll look through them. I'm trying to use minimal amount of AI as possible, just because that goes against sort of the human artistic intention that I have for this, but it's too big. I can't, there's no way I can do all this by myself. But I am the supervisor, you could say. Right? See how it goes through here? It's going to go through all these different direct versus indirect terminology, foundational theories. This one is a deep search, so it's going to take a bit. And I guess we wait for that. Go through here. Let's see if I can find a example of some more notes. So here's the research repo that I'll put on there. And I also got a why'd I put Pygame here? Oh, my son put that there. It's a Pong game. What? Okay. Yeah, he made a Pong game. Okay. And I have a couple scripts that I wrote that kind of automate and speed this up. Like I had one that created these names, went through. So this is a lot that goes into this. Let's see if we're getting there. But watch this. This is all worth it. You're going to see the amazing results of this. All right, step 8 of 9. We're almost there. We're almost there. Here we go. Let's go to energy and I don't know, energy and pollution. Yep, one of pollution's greatest influencers is energy production. I will max this out for now at plus 0.4. Do not set this lower than plus 3. So there's another example of a note. Save that one though. And I will be posting this. See links, a bunch of different links. I usually put links here when I don't have access to the actual paper, but that I'm able to find enough justification in the abstracts or the available, whatever I could read from these. So all of these I've gone through and I at least said, yes, these are relevant to the value of the influence weight that I've assigned. All right, here we go. This finished. So here it is. It gives us all these papers right here. We can go select on a paper. And this is for family values versus to addiction. And it says it's direct but small negative effect. Let's see, I'll go to this paper. See if it will load. Some of them don't load, as you can see there. All right. Oop. Oh, this one's not loading either. That's not good. I usually go to the PDF ones first. Okay, family obligation values and family assistance behaviors, protective and risk factors for Mexican American adolescent substance use. I remember this one. This one had a really big, this one had a big research pool. I forgot where was it. Family assistance. And of course we use this. I'll usually jump to the methodology. So we'll go to method, participants. Yeah, 385. 9th, 10th grade adolescents and the primary caregivers from Mexico. So you see, you go through this. I'll usually look at method and I'll look at the values. Sometimes I try not to do this, but when I have any doubt in it, I'll go to ChatGPT or Grok. So I have these saved up here. So I'll go to ChatGPT or Grok and I'll say, hey, I've read these papers, and I'll give it the PDF files. I'll say, look, here's these papers. I read them, and I think that the appropriate value for family values to addiction is this number. Is this defensible? And it will tell me, yes, it is. No, it's not. Usually I'm right. I try to be conservative. I'm trying to keep the numbers very low. And then when I actually finish coding the simulation, I'll do some more fine tuning. So I prefer to undervalue things, which I learned the hard way in that healthcare module that I showed, because they're too strong of effects. So everything, the highest values right now, I think are like around 0.4 is really the max that I'm going. Let's see, 0.36, 0.34. Some of these are indirect too. Like they're more of a pressure. Anything under like a 0.04 is more of like a pressure. So, all right, there it is. That's the research repo. That's society. Is the project that I'm working on. I don't know. Tell me what you think. And also let me know if you want to help me, because I'm going crazy going through all these papers. It's very enlightening, but it's not like I maybe remember about 20% of everything I read on a good day. So I think that's why I've read so much, because I hate that I can't actually retain information because of so many years doing drugs. Don't do drugs. I got to quit vaping too. I'm 6 years sober, 7 years sober, 2019, September, whatever. But there it is. So if you like it, let me know. I'm going to continue working on it. And any kind of comments or feedback, if you could find any problems in my white paper, please do, because I need to pitch this to serious people, and I need to make sure that all my bases are covered. Give me your worst. And if you want to compliment me, I'll take those too. I love them. All right? So I love you. God bless you. God bless America. And I hope you have a great day. Well, take care. Bye.